purchasing your Sappi Birds of South Africa, you now own a unique bird guide that is different to all other bird guide publications. It changes bird watching forever, and for the first time, bird calls can be heard from the pages of a field guide. The book is supplemented with the callfinder, an electronic pen that generates the actual bird call when it is pointed at the bird's image. You simply point and listen, ensuring quick association, supplemented by information and hints from the book on the bird's behavior to assist you with identifying it correctly. Sappi Birds of South Africa is the ultimate guide to South Africa's bird species. Pictorial, factual and audible. This modern technology enhances the way experienced birders go birding. But it also opens up the wonderful world of birding to newcomers and especially children, nature's future caretakers. Welcome to the wonderful world of birding with Sappi Birds of South Africa, your ultimate bird guide. The book contains 4 main sections in which South Africa's more than 720 bird species are grouped together, with further assistance available from the shape finder and the color coding guide on page 321. The shape finder contains simplified sketches of the main groups of bird species, together with group names and page numbers. For practical reasons, the sketches are not to scale. The 4 sections are water and wetland birds, birds of prey and carrion eaters, veld landscape birds, and bush and tree landscape birds. Within each section, the species are grouped together according to their external shape. The user of the book has 4 options to find the information required on a specific species. If the group that the species belongs to is known, then the group name can simply be looked up in the bilingual dual decks on page 312 to find the relevant page. If the group name is not known, the group can be identified according to the bird's shape in the shape finder on pages 31 to 45, and the relevant page numbers for the group obtained in order to limit the search to group members only. The third option is to determine in which type of habitat the bird has been observed, for example, water landscape, and to refer to that section of the book to search for the species according to the color coding. A fourth option, especially for those that already know the bird and would like to quickly view the image or listen to the call, is to look up the bird's name in the scientific index on page 315. The descriptive information for each species includes at least 1 photograph or sketch, a map, text, and a series of icons. The image is usually that of a male bird in breeding plumage. The map displays the species' official number in the top left corner and its status in the bottom right corner. Status can be as follows: yellow, resident throughout the year; purple, summer visitor. The diamond indicates that the species is an exotic species, not traditionally found in South Africa, but which has been introduced at some stage. The orange-colored areas on the map indicate the normal distribution areas of the species. It must be kept in mind that the areas of some species continuously change. The common name of the species appears at the top of the text. The male in breeding plumage is normally described with short references to the difference between non-breeding male, female and juvenile if applicable. Interesting information that is not depicted by the icons is presented in telegram style in the text. The general Afrikaans and scientific names of the species can be found at the end of the text. 4 sets of icons describe important behavior or characteristics of the species. 1. Species' normal environment or habitat. 2. Where the species nest. 3. Species' relative size. The 10 icons in this section enable the user to fairly accurately determine the size of a bird. For each species, it is indicated whether the relevant species is smaller, larger, or the same size as the indicator species. 4. Species social behavior is indicated by 4 icons to show how many birds of a particular species are normally found together. The interpretation is as follows: usually solitary, usually in pairs, usually in small groups such as family groups, gregarious, usually in flocks or colonies. The call finder unlocks advanced technology for the user and is now available with a field guide for the first time in South Africa. The call finder scans the image or icon and plays the relevant soundtrack from a memory card. The calls are linked to the main photograph in the sections where the species are described. Sometimes more than one soundtrack is available for a specific species. The different soundtracks will play in succession. Where no soundtrack is linked to the photograph in the species description, it will be indicated by a beeping sound. The bird calls are continuously updated and expanded, and users can download the latest version free from Breezer Publications' website. The call finder contains a standard earphone and speaker jack, a mini USB port, a call finder sensor, speaker, and a TF card slot to expand capacity. On the front of the call finder is a control panel with an on-off button that must be kept pressed to switch the device on or off. When it switches on, the call of a fish eagle will be heard. With the M mode switch, you can toggle between call finder and MP3. The R button is for recording and needs to be pressed for starting a recording and pressed again to stop the recording. Keep it pressed to replay the recording. The left arrow plays the previous track or decreases the volume if held depressed. The right arrow is used to play the next track or increases the volume if held depressed. Earphones can be plugged into the side of the device to enable private listening, although one can also use external speakers to enhance the volume of the call finder. The batteries of the call finder can be charged by simply plugging the charger into a normal wall plug. It is important to handle your call finder with care. It is an electronic device with sensitive components such as a memory card, electronics, and rechargeable batteries. Be careful not to bump it, drop it, or expose it to extreme heat or direct sunlight. The call finder will last for many years if handled with care. Congratulations on the purchase of your Sappi Birds of South Africa, the ultimate field guide for bird watchers.